Okay, guys. So in this video, I'm going to take you through what it takes to go from 0 to 100K within the info space. Okay. All of the points that I'm going to touch on have been back tested for the past 10 years. And I'm telling you now, they are phenomenal. Within this, it's about personal branding. When you're in the info space, so let's say for argument's sake, you're a consultant, financial advisor, mentor, coach, online coach, whatever it is, personal branding is going to be your friend. People are going to buy into you before they buy into your service, and you need to build respect, credibility, and become an authority within that space to gain as much attention and traffic as possible. So this strategy itself, I've implemented into many different clients. We've had to tweak things, obviously, to work with people's strengths and weaknesses, but fundamentally, this is the go-to strategy in order to grow your info business. So let's dive into it. Now, before we get started, this isn't going to be any clickbait. There's no secret hacks. It's all just going to be black and white on the page. I'm going to show you exactly what we do. So get your notepad out, take as many notes as possible, and then implement this into your current info business. So as you can see, this diagram right here is color coordinated. So we have the blank squares, we've got orange, green, and red. And on the right hand side, we have the pyramid pillars. So we need to build the foundations and then grow off the back of that. So when you're working with me, we go through an onboarding process, and that onboarding process allows me to deep dive into your business to then know exactly what we need to do in order to implement a specific strategy for you. There is never a one size fits all. So let me make that crystal clear. For those of you that are paying for courses to be taught very specific things, I'm not going to say they don't work, but they're not specific to your business. With this, you can adapt and manipulate it specifically for yourselves, and that's exactly what we're going to go through. So the first pillar is the overall marketing of your business. In order to effectively market your business, we need to look at your niche and your target market. Okay, so at this moment in time, you might think that you have your niche dialed in. I'm telling you now, you don't. The thing is, when people are looking at niche and target market, they basically say, well, I want to sell to high ticket clients because I heard that so-and-so said that I can charge 10K to be a consultant or to be an advisor or to show them how to sell their specific thing. The likelihood of that happening is quite low, because right now there's no evidence, there's no data, you're not trustworthy, you're not respected, there's no authority there. So we need to build that. So we need to tap into a very singular niche for you to strategically pinpoint that person to bring them in. So for example, if you're an online coach, and you help people get fitter, get stronger, essentially, well, get fitter and get stronger is very, very broad. So as an online coach, you would be helping people reduce their body fat percentage before summer. Or for example, you would be helping postnatal pregnancy women within their fat loss, or helping for stage prep for a bodybuilder, helping for injury rehabilitation. So I'm going with that. So you help a specific audience. So you go from 100% down to a 2% niche and you funnel that specific person in. Now, you have to think of that in terms of every service that you offer. So once again, if you're a consultant, who do you consult to? What business do you work with? If you're a financial advisor, what do you specifically work for? Do you help them reduce their tax? Do you help them reduce their outgoings? Do you help them invest? What is your specific thing you help them with? If you're a mentor, is it psychological? Is it physical? Is it work related? Is it relationship related? What are you mentoring them for? What are you specifically helping them with? And then coaches. Coach is a broad term. You could be an online coach, you could be a psychology coach, you could be a fitness coach, you could be a paid ads coach, a strategy coach, you could be whatever. But basically, whatever your service is, who specifically needs it? Not wants it, needs it. Because if they need it, they're going to look for it. Therefore, they're more likely to buy into you. So, the psychology and the pain points. This is based off of word optimization and tapping into a specific thing that you can 100% help people with. So, for example, within my consultancy, it's all about business growth. I help businesses set up strategic strategies across a period of time to scale their business. Okay. Now, all of my content is based on strategy. It's based on sales. It's based on growth. Okay. So that's what I help with. That's my specific thing. I can then go into businesses, tell them exactly what they're missing and what they need help with, and I can help them work through it. Yours might be a little bit different. So you might be focusing on quite a broad range, but when it comes to your marketing, you still need to niche down, you still need to be specific. So with the psychology terms, as a rule of thumb, identify a pain point, agitate that pain point, so twist the knife, offer a free solution, offer your solution, and you rinse and repeat constantly, because you're giving free information out, you're building an audience and an ecosystem which then drives traffic into your funnel. You can then showcase everything that you offer to them. So psychology and pain points. People think that psychology and pain points is based around something that you turn around and go, well, I can help you with this if you like. That's not the case. What you want to be doing is, you need help with this, you're struggling with this, I can offer you a solution. That's the whole process, that's the whole protocol. So, pain points is based off of word optimization. What words are you going to use within your content? I recommend having a singular word which you repeat. Mine is strategy. That's what I do. I build out strategies. Yours could be psychology, fat loss, whatever your service is. Think of a specific word and rinse that word. Not only will it train your audience, but it will train your algorithm to identify people that want your service. So you constantly say that word gets repeated, people then engage with it, the algorithm can help you. Next, trust, credibility, respect. Know, like, and trust. You've heard it before, but people will see 7 hours worth of your footage before they even buy into you. So, how do you build trust? Through results. Have you got results yet? If not, if you're brand new, utilize data for trust. You have to become an authority. And trust me, if you believe what you're saying, then your audience will believe it too. You have to back every word that you're saying. The trust aspect is massive, because without trust, you don't get credibility. If you haven't got credibility, you don't get respect. You therefore do not get any clients. So everything that you're mentioning within your videos, within your content, it has to be factual. It has to be data driven, because you can't just say, well, in my opinion, it's this. Well, who cares? Like, do you know what I mean? Nobody cares about your opinion. They care about the data and the facts behind it. So if you're brand new, utilize data within the industry and push that data. If you have your own data and your own results, push that, because people will see that. They will then know that you know what you're on about, and they buy into it. So trust, credibility, respect, it's all psychological. So another thing is, with marketing, there is a thing called outreach and outbound, where you can go and message people, you can try and transfer them into clients, manipulate them into being clients. The issue is that right now we've got 1,000,001 appointment setters out there that are sending scripted messages all the time. So therefore, trust, credibility, and respect goes out the window. This is another thing that could potentially be the downfall of AI, because there's a lot of people at this moment in time that are using AI chatbots to do their outbound. I don't recommend that. Get a setter, or do it yourself if you can't afford a setter just yet, and build rapport with people. Start a casual conversation. Work the conversation towards your service. Ask specific questions. Because, right, the easiest way to put it is, if you're at a bar, if you're a man or a woman, whichever way you swing, doesn't matter, you go and approach somebody that you fancy. If you turn around and say, you're really hot, do you want to go to bed with me? They're going to go, what is going on? Like, they're going to be like, what a weirdo. Whereas if you go over, give a compliment, introduce yourself, start talking, play the long game, then the relationship will build. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So when it comes to outbound and outreach within a marketing aspect, Stop sending copy and paste messages, because you're instantly cancelling out your trust, credibility, and respect. All right? Build relationships in order to sell, because the thing is, these jobs here, consultancy, financial advisor, mentors, coaches, they're based off of communication and psychology. Excuse me. They're based off of you helping people, and if they can't talk to you, if they can't communicate with you, you can't help them. That's the bottom line. Play the long game, build trust, build credibility, build respect. Now, the know part. So letting people get to know you. Give them an insight into your life. Your life is your personal branding. So right now, I'm sat in my office, I've got multiple cameras, a light, I'm in my own home, I'm casual, I'm relaxed, like this is what I wear on a daily basis. Like, you're getting to know me, you get to know my thoughts, my process, my opinions. Therefore, you either buy into me or you don't. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, there's more potential for you to be a client. Does that make sense? So even when we're online and you're uploading stories, you're uploading content, show people your wins, show people your losses, take them through your favourite sports teams. So it might be F1, it might be Premier League, it might be NFL, it might be NBA. Take them through personal aspects, because you can banter people, you can build a relationship. The only thing I would say, and this is my personal opinion, but stay away from politics and religion when it comes to online stuff, purely because there is always somebody that will argue or fight against it. And the issue is you can then push away a broad audience. With the utmost respect, if it's that personal to you, keep it there. That's perfectly fine. But just stay away from those aspects when it comes to personal branding, because there is pros to it, but the cons, in my opinion, outweigh the cons. So when people get to know you, they want to know your thoughts, your feelings, your opinion, your holidays, your breaks away, your clients, how you've dealt with them. They want to know all these different things, but certain things you can keep to yourself. Once we work this out in terms of marketing, we can take all of the knowledge from the psychology, the pain points, building trust and credibility, and we can start utilizing paid ads. So the paid advertisement is basically you reaching people that might not have been able to see you. And that's the whole point of it. From the paid ads, we can then look at building a funnel. So brochures, emails, and forms. And then we need to go into other aspects, which I'm going to touch on. So paid ads within a personal brand meaning is you bringing people into your community. You're offering your service. And once again, within this, I recommend the triple threat strategy. Video and 2 graphic designs to start with. Once those are working, so that we don't then get follower fatigue or viewer fatigue, we then change them out every 3 to 4 months, right? We then use the data from those paid advertisements to look into the marketing to see what's working and what isn't. If a certain advertisement is working, well, let's copy and paste that in terms of how we presented it, the wording, the imagery. Let's start using it for content and reels to bring more people in. Let's make another paid ad copy similar to it and push that out. So whatever's working, we rinse and repeat. But you're not going to be able to know what's working unless you track the data. Right, easiest way to track data, Google Sheets. Get yourself a Google Sheet, share it with your team, make specific folders for each bit. So you want to do your full professional dashboard on Insta. You want to do the analytics on other social media platforms as well, Facebook, TikTok, etc., YouTube. You then want to do all of your meta ads. You want to do all of your outbound and engagement. Track them, see what works, see what doesn't. If it doesn't work, get rid of it, bring in something new. Simple as that. Now, copywriting. Copywriting, for those of you that don't know, is the art of sale through wording. So it's specific wording. So once again, we can tap into the psychology, which we worked out from our niche, to use word optimization, specific wording, to draw our audience in. So we utilize copywriting for our captions, for our stories, but most importantly for our paid advertisement. What words in particular are going to get your audience to turn their head? What's going to get them engaging with it? What's then going to get them to realize, well, actually, I need this service, okay? So with copywriting, once again, you want to look at the pain points and go, right, how can I drive the knife in, twist it, and then offer a solution? Identify the pain point, agitate the pain point, offer a solution. Okay? Utilize copyright for that. That takes a lot of practice. And copywriting within paid ads sometimes is hard to track, because 9 times out of 10 it's based on the imagery itself. So the video or the graphic design is what's going to turn heads. The copywriting aspect is the vocabulary that you use, the wording that you use on the image or video, as well as the caption, the headline, the subheading, etc. So this is another thing that is a key aspect based on the marketing, based on the psychology around the niche. Right, content, video, and imagery. So for content, the most simplest thing for you to do is give information. Tell them exactly what you do and don't ever stop telling them. So my thing, once again, strategy, building out, growth. So I push that. All of my videos, all of YouTube, all of TikTok and Insta is based around that. You need to do the same. So whatever you're doing, so let's say you're a consultant, you're a financial advisor, mentor, coach, whatever, utilize the same message and push it and push it and push it. Now, with your niche and your content and video and imagery, there becomes a brand identity. So the way you talk, the way you look and dress, your thoughts and feelings and opinions, your backdrop, where you are. So some people will utilize holidays as content because it looks more glamorous. Other people will use their bedroom. Other people use their office, their kitchen, whatever. It doesn't matter as long as it's consistent. People love patterns. That's why we love TV series. So Big Bang Theory, Peaky Blinders, there's other amazing ones. But when you click on, you know what you're getting. You know what characters there. You know how they look. You know how they talk. You know how they represent themselves. And then you buy into them as a character. Like everybody loves Tommy Shelby. Everybody loves Tom Hardy, the way he plays and portrays his villains, etc., etc. So young Sheldon, all that kind of stuff. You buy into that character, all right? So when it comes to your brand identity, the same colors, the same fonts, the same message, the same graphic design, that same theme is then going to portray your entire business, and it has to match. So let's say, for argument's sake, you have a logo. It's a step into business branding a little bit, but let's say you have a logo, you have a calendar link, you have a funnel. If your logo colors don't match the calendar link or don't match the funnel, there's going to be doubt. So when people come into that funnel, they look at it and they go, actually, that don't match. So let's say my colors, for example, blue, white, and black. If you then step into my funnel and it's orange, black, and red, you go, hold on, what? And then doubt creeps in. You want to eliminate doubt straight away. So keep your brand identity, the same color scheme, the same fonts, the same message. And it's going to build trust, build credibility. And the likelihood of them stepping away is reduced because there's that familiarity around it. Okay, so once we've looked at all of that, we can then step into social media, content, long form, short form, because we've now built out the ecosystem. We now have built out our ecosystem, so we understand what our clients' wants and needs are. So now we can start pushing social media. We can start introducing a set strategy around that. Now, the title of this video is 0 to 100K. So how are you going to get there? Well, you need mass amounts of high quality leads, qualified and onboarded. Speed to lead is going to be your friend. So get them as a lead, get them in, get them paying, boom, straight away. Utilize their emotional factor in terms of, oh, I've inquired in this. If you then reply to them 2 days later, that whole interest has gone. They've thought about 100 million different things, and then you've then tried to pop back up to them. So speed is going to be your friend. The second they're interested, get them in for a call, whether it's a phone call, Zoom call, whatever, whether your setters have got to get onto them, do it, because you have more opportunity to onboard them based off the fact that they're emotionally connected in that split second. So the speed is going to be massive. So with social media, set up triggers so that you can utilize that speed. ManyChat is great. Go high level is great as well. So you can set a notification so that every time somebody messages you, you get a notification from on your phone. Therefore, boom, you can reply instantly, or your setters can reply instantly. So When it comes to social media, you're looking at the content to apply triggers to bring people in. Long form content to reduce the amount of videos that it takes for them to get to the 7 hour process. So long form, such as this, allows people to buy into you. It allows them to buy into the information. It allows you to broadcast more information. Short form, clip your long form. We might clip this video, but clip it down and showcase small snippets of the information. So from what I've covered, I could do a snippet of niche, a snippet of psychology, a snippet of paid ads. You know what I'm saying? So the video can be 30 to 60 seconds long. You snip it down, you upload it. That's short form. Short form content, you've got posts, which are imagery, just a single image of yourself. You've then got carousels, which is multiple images that tell a story. You've then got short form videos, which is around about 30 seconds, and then long form videos, which is a minute plus. Reels are going to be your friend because Reels will be showcased to other people, and then posts and carousels help you give information as well as broadcast yourself in a personal way. Now look, we are speeding through this a little bit. If you do need to deep dive into your business and you need help from myself, drop a comment below or book into my calendar link and I'll get in touch with you straight away. Content calendar. Scheduling content in advance. Now, with scheduling content in advance, we have seen in the past that the analytics do reduce slightly. Don't know why, it might be a myth, but the data does show that the overall views will drop slightly. Another thing you don't want to do is overload content because you get what's called follower fatigue. If you've got somebody uploading 3 to 4 times a day, you're like, bore off, just go away. Whereas if they upload 3 to 4 times a week, and it's high quality, high emotional factor, high copywriting, high psychology, it's a lot better. So we go for quality over quantity. That's for Insta and Facebook. For TikTok, use it as a testing platform. Rinse TikTok with as many videos as you can, because then the videos that do well, you can copy them across to Instagram because you know they've already done well. So they've tapped into a market which you can then tap into on Insta. Finally, when you have your ecosystem, and once again, we've brushed through this quite fast. Once you have your ecosystem, you've got the sales process. Now, to get to 100K, you are dealing with high ticket clientele. That means that your sales are going to be less. Fact. Because not everybody can afford high ticket. So if you are going for high ticket, be prepared to make 2 to 3 sales a month. You're not going to be making 10, 15, and that's just fact. That's based off of the averages of the wealth in the world, right? If you've got a service where you can take on multiple low tickets, that's great as well, because you're still going to build your pot at the end of the day to get to the 100K. Now, what I recommend is what we call a value ladder. So you'll have service 1, service 2, service 3, and then the more clients that you get involved across here. So if we have service and then clients, well, your low ticket might be a community. They might pay 10, 15, 20 to $100, £100 to buy into the community. And you might get a couple people on board there. Then you've got a medium service, which is a small snippet of your one-to-one or a small snippet of a higher valued service. You then get a few clients onto there. Then you get 3 to 4 as a high ticket. You're now skyrocketing and you're reaching that 100K. So my advice to you is have a community. You can have a community manager that manages it, that utilizes their time to build that community. Have a medium ticket that you can work on, and then have a high ticket that gets your one-to-one personal service. Now, the other value of this is your sales process becomes easier, because the second you say, look, what's your budget looking like? Or the second you drop the price on your high ticket, let's say it's 10 grand, and they go, actually, that's a little bit out of my price range. But I'll tell you what can you afford? Let's work with you. What can you afford right now? They say 2 to 3 grand. Okay, what I can do then, I can get you on board for my medium ticket, blah, blah, blah. Or if they say a couple £100, right, what we'll do, let's get you into my school community where you can build and learn off it to increase your budgets, then we can work one-to-one together. How does that sound? See what I've done? So no matter what, you should be making a sale if you have what's called a value ladder in terms of your service itself. All right? So that is my tips and tricks for you to get to 100K within your service-based business. Okay? So once again, if you're looking to work with myself, use the calendar link in the bio, book yourself in. You'll come directly to me and I'll take you through an onboarding process to learn everything about your business and give you some tips and tricks and a lot of free help. All right, guys?